Come ahead. Hello, Vahid.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank
Okay.
you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Tell me, are you person ordinary or extraordinary?
It's a hard question, but it depends on the situation. But I prefer to be ordinary person.
Ordinary? Okay, who are you?
Uh,
In general.
in general, my name is Vahid. I
Yeah.
come from Iran.
Yeah.
I'm 29 years old, and I'm here in Poland to study in master level. It's about 6 or 7 months that I came here in Gliwice. I'm studying material engineering in Polytechnica, and just this.
Okay, so how's your study? It's hard. It's hard to study here in
yeah.
Poland. You find it hard, or it's easy? You're passing all the exams, no problem.
Actually, when I was in Iran, I graduated in 2012. So
Okay.
it was 7 years that I was. After my graduation in bachelor in Iran, I went to military service because it is obligatory for boys in
Ah,
Iran.
you
Only
must
for
go.
boys, yes. Only for boys it is obligatory. So after my graduation in bachelor degree, I went to the military service for 2 years, and after that I started to work because at that moment I decided to earn some money and not to. Not, I prefer not to study in master. So after 2 years of working in Iran, I decided to immigrate. So first I decided to immigrate to Canada.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've been to Canada?
Yeah.
You live there?
No,
Ah,
just it was a thing.
Aha.
Yeah, it was a plan.
Uh-huh.
So I decided to immigrate to Canada and to Montreal and to Quebec. So I was obliged to learn French.
Uh-huh.
So for about 9 months or 1 year, I decided to not going to work and only study French.
Okay.
And I studied French completely. And after around 9 months to 1 year, I passed different exams and I obtained different certificates of French and I applied for Canada. But unfortunately, because I'm from Iran and Iran is situated in the Middle East, the Quebec government or immigration office in Quebec government, they check your application based on your nationality. So, for example, for European countries, the processing time is really low, is really short. But for countries like Iran or Middle East, it's really too long. And after 3 years, unfortunately, nothing happened till last year. And last year, because I studied French and I can speak French, not fluently, but
You can communicate.
yeah, I can communicate well. So I decided to first apply for universities in France. Because the French universities for international students are free of charge. Yeah, and only I was obliged to pay living costs. And also I had some Iranian friends in France, so I decided to apply for France. But unfortunately, due to the large quantity of the applicants, the competition is really difficult. So I couldn't get any admission from 7. I had 7 options and 7 choice for universities. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any admission from those universities. So after that, because I was really, I was really, how can I say it? It was a decision for me to immigrate from Iran. So I decided to search for other countries. And in my search, I found some countries about the universities, about the living costs, about the different things, and finally I chose Poland and Norway. So I applied for these two countries.
Both.
Yeah, and the reason that I choose Poland, maybe it is interesting because everyone in here or in Katowice asked me why did we choose Poland for a study, because actually Poland is a really affordable country for living costs. For example, in Norway or in other countries, in France, in Germany, the living cost is really high for me.
Yeah.
But here I can pay my cost.
You can afford
Yeah,
to
I can.
pay this.
It's really affordable for me, and also the tuition fee for universities are really lower than the other European countries. And also, yeah, and the relationship between Iran and Poland, there wasn't any problem in political situations. So I decided to
Choose Poland.
choose Poland. I applied for different universities. I got some admissions from Gdansk, from Poznan, and from Gliwice. And finally, I decided to come to Gliwice because I have a Polish friend in Katowice, and he traveled to Iran 3 times. So
really?
yeah, and
So it's close.
because
Katowice, Gliwice,
and it was a help for me to have a friend in
close
to
your
my
place.
city. Yeah. And also the living cost again in Gliwice is lower than Poznan and Gdansk. So it was a story about my
How you get
decision,
here.
yeah, how I
Why we are
came
here.
here. Yes.
Okay, nice. So
And
you really.
actually, till February I was working in Iran, and I didn't quit my job till the last day that I was in Iran. I was working and I got my visa and I came here. And at the moment also I have some relationship with my previous company. I do some work for them by internet, and I have some relationship with that company in Iran.
So you like this work in Iran? You enjoy the work?
Yes, sure.
Or you work because you had to earn money? Or it was satisfying?
Actually, I started to work in 2014. Yeah, 5 years ago. At that moment, it was only just earning money, but gradually and step by step, I liked that job because it is completely related to my major. Because in Iran I studied mechanical engineering, and after 1 year I decided to change my job, but only after 1 week or 10 days I decided to again go to that company to continue my work, because I got used to that work, and for example, other fields were difficult for me. So again, I decided to have some cooperation with my previous company, and my job was related to the cutting tools, and I was application engineer. Application engineer is a person who deals with technical issues, and also deals with selling a product.
So you are not the one that's working physically, right? To
No,
cut
no,
this,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
you're
I was.
in
It
the
was
more.
office work, and also sometimes we had some visits to the other companies, other manufacturers, for example, automobile manufacturers, power plant, and different things. But basically, it was office work. So for sure, I love my job, and at the now I'm here, and also I like that job. I'm trying to find a job again exactly in that field here in Poland, in Gliwice, or maybe in other cities.
So you can earn more here in Poland than in Iran with the same job? It's better
Yes,
here?
sure.
More.
Because in Iran, our national currency is real, and for example, €1 is about 14. It's about 140,000 riyal.
Oh my.
So it's a large
So hard
amount
to,
of money.
to convert.
Yeah, it's a
Oh my
really
God.
big money. So, and it's a really big problem for Iran. At the moment, we have Iranian people have lots of financial and economical problems due to this difference between euro and Iranian currency. So, and also it was a really bad situation due to the U.S. sanction for Iran, because till last year, till 2017, the rate between euro and real in Iran was about 40,000 real, for example, 1 euro, but now it's 3 times higher or more, 3 years exactly. And after the sanction of the US and the Trump decision about the new sanctions, everything changed in Iran, and the current foreign currencies, all of the foreign currencies, for example, Zwykli, I don't know, everything, US dollar, euro, everything changed, and now the economical situation in Iran is really bad. So the salary that I earn here, if I wanted to change, convert it to my currency in Iran, so it's really a huge money.
Huge money, but you can't buy much for this in Iran, yes?
Yes.
It's better still here, right?
Yeah, sure. It's I don't know. I think lots of
But it's cheaper in Iran a bit than Poland.
the living cost.
Yeah,
Yes.
in total, food, houses.
Yes, it's cheaper than Poland. Yes, but not so much cheap.
Not
But
big
it's a
difference.
little cheaper. But in comparison with the other European countries, yes, it's really cheaper. But in comparison with Poland, not so cheap. But
Because Poland is
yes,
cheap, right?
Yeah,
For
Poland,
European
yes,
countries.
exactly.
Okay, what about this military service? You've been there 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So every man have to go there, right? It's
Yes.
You remember it as a good experience or bad experience? Because in Poland before, like 20 years ago, we had this obligatory tour.
But now,
Me, I think, I don't know, maybe luckily I didn't have to go there. So I didn't experience that. But my father, the previous generation, they went. And they always describing, if you ever experience this military, you would be better, be stronger. So I'm thinking, how is it in Iran? It's similar, it's really like they discipline you, how it looks like. So
Actu-
good or bad experience?
actually, as I told before, it's an obligation for every
Yes.
boy in Iran after the age of 18.
So when you're
Uh,
18, you must go, yes?
Yes,
Okay.
if you didn't go to the
School?
university
Ah.
after finishing your high school, if you didn't go to the university, so you have to go to the military service, because you have only 1 year opportunity to choose between university or between military service. But because after high school I got admitted to the university, so I passed 4 years in university and I got my bachelor. So after that I decided to go to military service. I
how
have
was it?
done I have I have done my military service in Iranian army, because we have some different organizations related to military in Iran. One of them is army, one of them is for example Sepah, one of them is different organizations. And it is not a choice. You cannot choose which
choosing for
organization
you.
you want to go. It's a chance. So I went to the military service and for around 21 months. 2 months are training. They train you about how to use the gun, how to defend in war and different things. And the 19 months after that, these 2 months is you have to choose which work you want to do. So I decided to choose work related to my major. So I decided to go to Iranian army organization who was responsible for making tanks, for making guns, and there I was a CNC machine operator. We had some project about renovation of the tanks, renovation of the I don't know, different guns, and so it was a really nice experience for me because it was like a work experience
It's like
for me. Yeah.
job, right?
Yeah, it was really like a job, but I didn't. Oh, the only difference was that they didn't pay me.
The
So,
same
yes, and also it was an obligation. You cannot choose. For example, tomorrow I don't want to go. It's not like
you
this.
must.
Yes, it was a obligation
Be
because
there
it was
for
a
it.
military. So, but for other person, for other boys, they choose. For example, someone choose to be a. For example, he studied, for example, medicine. So he decided to go to the, for example, hospital for his military service. Someone decided to go to, for example, fire station. So you can choose
You
some
can choose
works,
which.
and also some people also work in office, and also we have some soldiers. They are protecting the borders of Iran. So it depends on your chance. It depends, and also some relationships. Because, for example, someone had some relation in, for example, one organization, and that guy helped him to employ him in that organization for military. But someone doesn't have any relation, so he has to go to the border of Iran for protecting the borders. So the military service is a really hard situation in Iran. So it's really different. The field that you are working, but for me it was a really nice experience because I got some professional experience about my work, about my previous study. But for sure I had some problems and some difficult situations. For example, 3 days or 3 nights I was obliged to be in that organization because of the pressure of the work. We had to prepare, for example, for a ceremony, something, and also the how can I say, the attitude of the military persons was very really strict, and it was a work, but the reaction was really strict. Yes. But for me it was a really good situation, and also I got used to be more strong. And in next years I understood that it was a really advantage for me for going to the
experience that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, tell me about, the first thing before I will forget. Recently I saw some statistics, and it was with the most stressful cities to live. And top 5 was Tehran. So why? Why Tehran is one of the most stressful cities to live? Explain it to me. Why do you think?
First, I want to talk about Iran. Actually, Iran is not a country which is described in propaganda in different media. For example, in TV, in foreign TV, in foreign press, in foreign newspaper, they always try to show Iran as a terrorist country, as a country that they have some wars with. They have internal war, they have external war with other countries, but
It's not true.
yeah, it is not true. It's a propaganda. So, and also about Tehran. Tehran is the capital of Iran. It is situated exactly in the.
You are from Tehran?
Yes, I was born in Tehran, and also now I'm also living in Tehran. My family lives in Tehran. So Tehran is situated in the in center of Iran. The weather is really good because Iran is a really big country. For example,
90 something million, right?
about the population, about 90 million. Yes, a little less, but 90 million. Yes.
Something around.
Yes, and the surface of Iran is also really big. For example, 15 yes, 15 European countries. For example, in Eastern Europe, Poland, Hungary.
Yeah, I read
Yes.
that. Iran is 5 times bigger than
Yes,
Poland.
yes, exactly. So
yeah, I know, that is big.
the weather in each city in Iran is really completely different. For example, at the moment we are in summer, so in the south of Iran the weather is so hot. In the north we have Caspian Sea, and we have some borders with Turkey in northwest of Iran, and so, for example, the weather is really cool there. For example, in the center of Iran, the weather is medium, not so much hot, not so much cool. So about the Tehran, you asked about the stress.
I think the first was Baghdad, so your neighbor, right? I think
Actually,
third or fourth
yeah.
is Tehran.
As I described, the population of Iran is about, at the moment, currently is 90 million persons. But in Iran, I think around 15 million people lives in Tehran. Yes, sorry, lives in Tehran. So it's a really big country, big city, and lots of, for example, organizations are located in Tehran, and lots of automobiles. Lots of people, lots of population, lots of industry. So unfortunately we have a really bad situation for air pollution. And people in other cities try to immigrate to Tehran for finding a job. So every day the population of Tehran is getting higher and higher. Increasing, yes. And so because of these things, I think Tehran is considered as a stressful city because everyone.
It's very crowded.
Yeah, it's a really crowded city. Lots of air pollution, lots of
People
stresses,
trying to find work.
and also different industries. But now the government is decided to put force for companies and try to replace these companies to around the Tehran, not in the city center or for example in the living centers. So but as I said, it's a really crowded city, lots of rush hours, lots of traffics, for example.
But it's safe in Tehran? When I travel there, I'm alone with backpack. I want to explore on my own. I can do that, or I should be careful in some, I don't know, region, street, or I'm safe.
Actually, it's a little strange in Tehran because in north of Tehran, the economical situation of the people is completely different with the southern areas. So, for example, but it's a safe place for foreigners. But it is better to, for example, be in your hotel or at your home, for example, before midnight. But it is not like a propaganda or like the things that the newspapers told about Iran. It's a safe country. Tehran also it's a safe city. But most of the tourists and foreigners, when they travel to Iran, they came to Tehran airport because we have an international airport, Imam Khomeini Airport. And for example, they stay in Tehran for 3 or 2 days or maybe 4 days. They explore different things. We have some palaces.
Yeah, that's my next question. If I go to Iran, tell me 3 places I should visit. The best 3 places in Iran, the whole Iran.
First, your flight will
Probably
go
will
to
be to
Tehran.
yeah.
So the best places in Tehran for foreigners is we have some palaces related to before Islamic Revolution, related to the king of Iran. We called it Saadabad Palace. So it's a really nice and luxury palace. But now it's only for tourists. You can, yes, Iranian tourists or foreigner tourists. So I think the first thing that a foreigner can visit in Tehran is that. And also we have a grand bazaar in Tehran. You can find different stuff in different professions. For example, copper. For example, I don't know, jewelry industry, and different things in traditional productions. You can find in Grand Bazaar of Tehran. Yes, and these two things are really nice to see for a foreigner. But after that, in my opinion, the best thing and the best city for a foreigner is Isfahan, and because Isfahan was capital of Iran, for example, 300 years ago, and also it's a really traditional city. You can find traditional monuments, traditional buildings, and historical things in Isfahan, and also lots of souvenirs you can buy there, and it's a Islamic city. You can find lots of souvenirs, lots of handmade things, handcrafts. And the next city I think is Yazd. It's close to Isfahan. I think it's about 2 hours or 3 hours far away from Isfahan, and Yazd is 5 or 6 hours far away from Tehran. So also Yazd is really Islamic city. You can find really nice buildings and really kind people, because their accent is different from Tehran. All Iranian people speak Persian, but with different accent. So for example, in Isfahan is different, in Azerbaijan is different, in Yazd is different. So people are really nice, and lots of tourists they prefer to visit these two cities, Isfahan and Yazd. So you are, for example, you are as a foreigner not alone in these cities. Lots of tourists there are in these two cities. So they are safe, completely safe. You can find different hotels, different hostels with different prices. And so Iran is a big country, so I cannot choose. I cannot tell you, for example, that city is good or that.
Depends.
Yeah, it depends on your
What you expect.
Yes, exactly.
What you're
For
searching
example,
for.
yes. For example, in south cities of Iran, we have Persian Gulf. So if you like to, for example, if you would like to see the sea and Persian Gulf, you can travel to the south of Iran. For example, in north of Iran, again, we have the Caspian Sea, and the weather is really better than south. So also, for example, we have Mashhad, but Mashhad is a little Islamic city, because there is a holy shrine related to Imam Reza. Imam Reza is one of our important persons in Islam. So it's a holy person. So Mashhad is related to only for Islamic persons. For example, travelers or foreigners from Iraq, from Islamic countries, they prefer to travel to Mashhad. But other foreigners, they travel to, for example, Isfahan, Yazd, I don't know, many cities.
Okay, I heard that Iranian people are very hospitable people. Is it true?
Yes, sure.
That they really.
Yes.
Like I read, or my friend been there, and she said that people very hospitable, that they really like helpful for foreigners. They want to talk with them, they invite them. So you said it's true, right?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
And the question is, are they the same for another Iranian people, or it's just for foreigners? What do you think? You are just in
No, I think
daily living the same for your
yes,
other people?
yes, I think
Not only for foreigners.
Yeah, for example, if I travel, as I live in Tehran, if I travel to other cities, and for example, I couldn't find any hotel or any hostel, so
They will help you.
yes,
too.
they will help you. For example, you can find a really nice family and you can stay in their home
Really?
for 1 night or 2 nights, and they try to help you to have to enjoy to enjoy about the time that you are with them. So it's not only related to the foreigners, but Iranian are a little more kind with foreigners because they love foreigners.
Maybe
They
they
love
want to hear
tourists.
some
Yes.
stories about the world. Yeah? Maybe that's
Yes.
why. Yeah.
And at the moment, traveling to Iran, unfortunately, governments of other countries, they try to convince the people of that country, and they advise to not going to Iran because of the war, because of the different things. But I'm sure, and I'm completely sure that is completely false, and it is an unreal situation. And
Yeah, because all the people coming back from Iran, they
yeah,
are, you
at
know,
the moment, my friend,
impressed.
Yes.
They know really nice
For example-
places, and it's safe. They saying really nice people. You know, they helping. They don't like something in return. They don't expect. You know,
yeah,
so it's true.
yes, sure.
And okay, some like fun or interesting things about Iran I found. It's the first thing is it true that in Iranian houses you don't have tables and chairs? You have just pillows. You're sitting on the floor,
No,
or
no.
just in some houses? No.
No.
No?
For example, 100 years ago, or maybe, for example, I don't know, 80 years ago, well, the situation was like this. But now it's completely.
It's changed.
Yeah, it's changed.
So it's like normal, the
Yeah,
table,
yeah,
you
it's
have-
completely. It's exactly as same as here or Europe. It's but in some cities, in Tehran, it's completely as same as here.
It's a
But
big city,
in
yeah.
some cities, because of their tradition, they try to not change their decoration of the house. So, for example, in some villages in that cities, they try to live really simple. They don't have chairs. They sit on the ground. They sit on the carpet. But it's related to the village. But also, I think foreigner tourists, they like this situation and they like this.
Atmosphere.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay, can you read newspaper in the toilet in Iran?
No,
Why?
it means that there is a place for the newspaper. They put the newspaper in the toilet, and when you are there, you can read. No, it's not like this.
No, I mean you have newspaper, for example, with you. You go to toilet and you can read this toilet newspaper.
Actually,
Because I read that you can, and I wonder why.
actually, we have two type of toilets in Iran.
Ah.
One of them is as same as here in
Yeah.
Europe, but one of them is Iranian toilet.
Which is how it
It's a little completely different with the toilet of your European toilet.
How
You
much
have to
com-
sit. Sorry, you have to
Yeah.
sit like this.
just simple, like
Yes.
it's like a wall, just.
Yes, it is located on the ground.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But where is it? In some shopping center too, or where?
Yes,
It's
you
like
can
even-
find.
ah,
Yes, you can find.
even in shopping center.
Yes, you can
Ah.
find the toilets in different places. In the, for example, subway, in the train station, in the
And
airport.
toilet like this.
Yes, and for example, in the places that the foreigners also are going to that place, with those two type of toilets there are there, but in some places only Iranian toilets.
I heard
exist.
maybe in Ukraine it's in some places the same what you just
Yes.
showed. So there is no problem with reading newspapers. You heard about this?
There is
or-
no problem,
You
but
can-
you have to you have to do your job as soon as possible, so you don't have time to read newspaper. But one thing which is really important is no one asks you about the money when you enter to the public
It's for free?
toilet. It's completely free of charge. Yes.
It's good. What about walking with dog? It's possible in Iran?
Unfortunately, it is illegal.
Illegal?
Yes.
Why?
Because Iran is an Islamic country,
Yeah.
and in Islam we have some regulations that in Quran, because our religious book is Quran, and in Quran they told that the dog is not a
Good
clean.
animal?
Yes, it's not a clean
Uh-huh.
animal. It's not a clean animal.
But
the
you know
dog
why?
and the-
Why? You know why?
Because they said that when they pee, they eat that pee. So and also maybe they walk on their pee. So when you, for example, put that dog in your home, so because in Iranian houses you can find carpets,
You can.
Iranian carpet. So it's a little difficult situation to have a dog on the carpet. But now the situation is completely changed. You can find many people in Tehran, but in Tehran, not in other cities. In Tehran, you can find many people. They have dogs, different dogs. Some of them they have dog in their, for example, court, in their yard. But some dogs they are smaller and they are living in the apartment, so there's no problem. But when you want to go to the walking with that dog, it's completely different because now in last year police try to catch those persons with dog in Tehran. Yeah, it's a difficult situation. But I know, for example, my friend, yeah, I have lots of friends that they have dog in their houses. But they try to, for example, go
Not
to
to
the
be
some.
shown somewhere.
Yes, they try
Just
to
like
go to
private,
some small parks to
To
hide and yes, to not be in front of the police.
Okay. And you have polygamy, right? In Iran, you can have 4 wives. It's true. A man can have 4 wives. Is it true? 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's
Yes,
true.
it's true.
But it's popular. The man says,
No,
or
no,
just little. Really
No,
little?
it's a.
They can, but they don't, or it's popular really
Yeah.
that they have.
It's a, how can I say? It's a. There is no problem for this in Islam. You can have some, for example, 3 or 4 wife. But no, the situation is not like this. For
So
example, because
usually just one.
one,
Yes?
yes.
Usually one.
maybe after some divorce or some, for example, your, for example, wife died. After that, the people try to marry to another person.
But it's still one, right?
we have some persons that they have 2 or 3, for example.
So what
yeah.
about you? You prefer 1 or 4, 3?
No, actually,
One.
as I said, the economical situation is really difficult. Exactly for, especially
Because if
for
you have
families.
more, you must pay. Yes,
Yes,
for them.
yes,
You must
yes.
support.
Yes, for sure. And
So it's maybe more with rich people.
yeah, and also now the age for the marriage in Iran is getting high and increase, because for example 10 years ago or 20 years ago, for example, young people around 25, 24, both boys and girls, they try to get married, but now completely the situation is changed because of the economical situation, jobs. It's really, for example, it is really difficult to find a good job, to have a good salary. So, for example, boys or girls, they try to be a single person and they try to catch some money, and after that they try to get married. And also we have some difficult situation and different situation. For example, we have some boys and girls, they are living with each other, but they didn't get married. Yeah.
Okay, what about Poland now? How do you like Poland? What are the differences between Iran and Poland? What are the main differences here? What is different compared to Iran and Poland?
The first thing is toilet.
Nice. We have just
Really,
one
yeah.
kind of toilet.
Yeah, but I get
You
now
missed the second one.
but now I get used to use the toilet because in our toilet in Iran we have a faucet and we use water. Yeah, we try to not use for example the tissue first, but it's a difficult situation. But when someone and it obliged to use that, so he or she had to use this type of toilet. No, it's a joke, but the main difference is here in Iran. The girls they have to use hijab, but here is not like this. Lots of people have freedom and they have liberty, but in Iran the situation for
But not all wearing hijab, yes?
not completely the face, but the hair, their hair and their neck.
So,
It's an obligation for all of the Iranian women.
All?
Yes. For
so
all.
I can meet Iranian with no this.
You can meet in only in their houses, not in the
inside the
public
houses.
places.
Okay.
Yes, not in the public places, and but it's an obligation. For example, also a foreigner as a woman,
They have to,
yes,
right?
they also when she arrived at the airport, she have to or she has to use hijab. It's a completely one of the biggest difference for me between Iran and
because of religion,
yes.
right?
And the other thing is religion. We are Muslim, but here you have your own religion, and also actually people are officially Muslim in Iran, in my opinion. Most of the people. For
More
example,
officially?
Yes. No, they are obliged to be a Muslim. You know, because they were born in a family, in a
They're
Muslim
raised
family.
like this,
Yes.
yeah.
So they were not allowed to choose which religion they want to be. For example, and also another difference between Iran and Poland is, for example, if you want to change your religion, for example, from Islam to Catholic, or I don't know, to Jewish, you cannot do that. If you do this, you will be prisoned, and after that, you have to go to the court, and finally they will cut you off.
So you can
No, you
change
cannot.
your
Every
beliefs.
person who change his or her religion, he immigrates to other countries.
But I remember it wasn't Iran or Saudi Arabia last time in media that the girl moved to Canada. You heard maybe
Yes, yes,
that she
yes.
escaped from the
Yes,
country
yes, yes,
like
yes.
2 months, 3
Yes,
months ago.
yes,
Which was that? Iran?
No,
Or
from
Saudi?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi.
Yes.
Okay, it's Saudi Arabia. So
And
maybe it's the same in Saudi Arabia.
yeah. In most of the Islamic countries are like this, but in Iran also is a little more difficult, more strict.
Than Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
Yes. Actually, as I said, Islam is the official religion for you, for an Iranian person. For example, by heart, Iranian people they are not Muslim. You know. For example, they are obliged to be a Muslim, but if it was
Inside they
if it
sometimes
was
feel
if it was a free decision, maybe he or she wanted to be a other person or maybe a like person. So the other difference is that. But the most important things and the big difference is religion and also tradition, because I think Iranian people are a little more kind and more sociable. They try to how can I say? They try to behave with people really in a kind manner. But for example, in other countries, for example in Germany, people are a little cool. They are not so
warm.
warm. Yes, like
Not that
Iranian.
friendly,
Yes, yeah,
hospitable,
yes, exactly.
helpful.
Yes.
Okay, what do you like the most in Poland? What do you like here? There is something you like here in Poland. You come from Iran here and you see, oh, it's nice. You have something like that?
Yes,
no?
sure.
Maybe there is no.
No, for sure there is. But for example, in Iran, you cannot buy any alcoholic drinks because
Yeah.
it is completely illegal.
Yeah.
Because again, Islamic laws, Islamic regulations. If police catch you, if police find you with alcohol in Iran, they will catch you. So here there is not like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy from different magazines, and you can. But I think the only difference is you cannot drink in the public places. So
Here.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, you shouldn't.
But in Iran, if you want to buy alcohol, you cannot find the original ones, and also, so it's a difference. It's a big difference for me.
Mhm.
Another thing is public transportation in Iran. I think only in Tehran, in Isfahan, and in Tabriz, and in Mashhad, is these four big cities. We have a metro, we have a subway, underground train, and also we have a bus. But here, the public transportation is really perfect. For example, when you use your Google Map, and in the Google Map it is indicated that the bus will arrive, for example, at that time, exactly at that time it will arrive in the bus station. But in Iran it's not like this. For example, there is no plan for the bus.
Just
No
the
plan.
bus come, you enter.
Yeah, when the bus comes, you have to go to the bus. But also, Tehran is a really crowded city, so the public transportation is really not in a comfortable situation. It's really hard to use subway, for example, in the rush hours in the morning, and also in the evening when people wants to go to their work and again come back to their houses. So the public transportation is the situation is really perfect here in Europe and also in Poland. Lots of differences, but for me these things are really more.
Okay. Are you a happy person?
I try to be happy, but sometimes it is not like this. Maybe I think when I came here, it's in these 6 or 7 months. Yes, I think, and I feel that I'm more happier than when I was in Iran. Because, as I said, living in Iran for Iranian is really difficult.
Okay.
Economical situation, unemployment, I don't know, low salaries, and strict regulations by the government, and lots of propaganda by the foreign I don't know, medias, and these things put force on the Iranian. These put force and pressure on Iranian families, especially for the families.
Okay, what is happiness for you? What makes you happy?
The first thing is economical situation. Yes.
Good.
When I have a for example, good income, a good salary, and a good job that I like to do that job every day, for sure I would be a more happier person. And another thing, family is also really important. Now I'm far away from my family.
So you have some brothers, sisters?
Yes.
How many?
I have a big family.
Really?
I have 2 brothers and 3 sisters. Yes, a
You
lot.
have to think about 3.
Actually, because I had 4 sisters, but my little sister died in an accident around 9 years ago. So because of that, yes. But now at the moment I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers, but I'm the youngest guy in our family.
So they are all in Iran?
Yes.
Or,
Yes,
so
all-
just you're here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
And so it's a little difficult for me to be far away from my family.
So you miss them, right?
I was in Iran last month in July.
Ah,
Yes,
really?
yes, because I finished my exam in June, and in 1st of July I decided to go to Iran, I decided to be in Iran for 3 months till, for example, at the end of the September. But unfortunately, in August last week, I had a interview and I had an appointment for my residency card in Katowice, so it was an obligation for me to come back here. But it's okay for me because when I was also in Iran in July, also I missed here. So it's a really difficult situation. When I'm here, I missed Iran. When I was in Iran, I missed here about Gilibitsa, about my friends, about university. So
Okay, what are you good at? What are you good at?
I always try to learn different languages. For example, English. I started to learn English when I was a child, around I think 9 years old. Yeah, because as a tourist, for example, when you as a Polish tourist, when you travel to Iran, for example, I think only 20% of the
Not
people,
much people
yes,
speak
can
English
speak
in
English
Iran.
well. So because of the, I think it's related to the bad, how can I say,
Relation?
education? No, bad educations in the schools, at the schools.
They
They
don't
didn't
teach
put, they
English.
didn't put lots of force on the students to learn English as a second language. So, I tried to learn this English language when I was a child. So it was really a big advantage for me because also my previous job in Iran was completely related to the English because we
So it was
were
useful,
as
right?
an international company. We had some cooperation with the European countries. So, and also after the English, I tried to learn French. So I think I'm good
You-
at learning different
Foreign
languages,
language.
and also Polish. I tried to learn some Polish.
What do you know in Polish?
I don't know. Different simple word for communication. Dzień dobry, do widzenia, do zobaczenia.
How is I'm sorry?
Przepraszam.
Yeah.
Proszę,
How
bardzo
is
proszę.
tree?
Three. Three.
Tree.
Yeah.
Good, okay.
And
You
yeah.
passed the
And it was a little difficult situation for me when I arrived for example, in March. I didn't know any Polish words
very hard language,
in the
yeah.
shops. Lots, no one can speak Polish, so no one can speak English. So,
And
for example,
Iranian
when I
too.
went to the, for example, shop to buy a yogurt, I bought another thing. I bought a cream, and for example, it was. But now I try to use translator and to learn typical words for shopping, and try to pass my life because I have to. If I
You have
want to
to.
live in Poland, for example, in 1 year I have to learn some words to try to
Step by
yes,
step.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The best place you ever visited in your life? Your favorite?
Iran is really lovely country. When I traveled, most of the times I was working in Tehran because I was really busy. I didn't have enough time to travel to other cities. But sometimes we had some missions, for example, to have some meetings in a company in other cities. So I tried to go there and also visit different places in that city. It was a really interesting thing as Iranian also for me. But the most interesting place that I have ever visited was Prague. I visited Prague in Easter holiday. I think in yes exactly in April. It was a really beautiful city, really interesting city.
So it's your favorite?
Yes,
for now?
yes, yes.
Right.
And also in 2016 I traveled to Germany, but it was only for work. But also I love Germany. Yes, it was a really nice country.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about abortion? You know abortion?
No. What is this?
It's when the woman is pregnant
Uh-huh.
and, for example, that she don't like to give a birth
Uh-huh.
and she won't like kill a baby. You know?
Uh-huh.
This is abortion. You
Uh-huh.
heard?
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah,
it?
yeah.
So it's what do you think? It's legal in Iran?
No, no, no. It's
You must
completely-
give birth.
Yes, yes.
Even the baby is sick or something, you must give birth.
If the baby is sick, until the baby is, for example, till the mother, the pregnant woman has 3 months, less than 3 months is legally,
You can.
yes, you can do that abortion. But after that,
No.
no.
You can.
But because of some illness and some sick,
Yes.
if you go to the, for example, office, for example, to the court, there is no problem.
You
But
can-
it's not. It's related to the law.
Mhm.
It depends on the law, and it depends on
situation.
your yes, on the situation and on your reasons.
Mhm. Okay. If you could turn back a time, there is something you would change in your life?
Actually, now I'm 29 years old, around 30, yes,
Yeah.
30 years old.
There is something you regret? or
No,
whatsoever?
I'm completely satisfied with my situation because everything was on time for me.
Oh.
For example, high school, I don't know, graduation from the university in Iran, I start my job, earn money, everything was on time for me. I reached everything that I wanted.
On the right
But
time.
I wanted to reach the things that I need for future. Actually, one thing that is a little stressful for me is my future. It's completely, I think, normal for students here, foreign students, because they don't know anything about their future.
Yeah.
For example, when they finish their education
University,
here, yes, what will happen? They could find
they're
a job,
not sure
or
about
they,
the job.
yes,
If they will find a job or still
Yeah.
will struggle to find.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to get
Yeah.
another job not related with the profession
Yeah.
or the school you are studying.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you scared of? What are you scared of in your life? Maybe this about your future, right?
Yes, yes. A little. I'm a little worried about my future, but I think if I have some plan, I will be a successful person to find a job in Poland or maybe in other countries. So I have to try, and I have to try, just only try, I think, and to escape from my fears.
Mhm.
Actually, now also I'm a little worried about the economical situation related to me, because when I decided to come here, I was thinking about finding a part-time job, for example, after 3 months or 4 months, after getting a little used to the people, used to the
culture,
city.
yeah.
Yes, I thought that it will not be a big problem for me. But now it's about 3 months or 4 months that I tried to find a part-time job, but it's a little difficult because
hard.
lots of companies here in Gliwice, or I don't know, in Katowice, they need a person full-time, but
Full-time,
yeah.
not part-time.
Uh,
But you can't full because you study, right? So
Yes, because of my study, and also as an international student, due to the Polish law, I can only work full time in July, August, and September. After that, I have to work only 20 hours per week.
Mhm.
But I think everything will be okay. No.
Okay.
Yes.
Give me lucky numbers, 5 numbers from 1 to 50. Give me 5 numbers from 1 to 50.
In Iran, all of the people think that 7 is a lucky number. And
7,
yes,
okay.
13 is not a good number.
So 7.
Yes, 7,
Okay.
27, 37, 47,
And the rest.
and I think 20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay, and I need 2 more from 1 to 10. 2.
1 to 10.
2 numbers.
4 and
4 and 8. Okay. I will try it. Okay, do you want to send any message to the world? You want to say something? You want to share something with people?
8. I want to tell people that around all over the world that they should not believe the things about Iran, about these propagandas about Iran. They have to travel to Iran. Iran is a really lovely country, and also is an affordable country for the tourists. Because, for example, a Polish tourist with 500 euro, he or she can spend really 2 weeks
Living there.
living in Tehran or other cities as a
Traveling.
tourist. Yeah, travel, yes. And also, as I said, they should not believe this propaganda. We have lots of tourists, we have lots of, for example, people who use their bicycles to move around Iran, or for example, they move from Europe, they pass Iran to other countries. So it's a completely safe country. In some situation, maybe you can hear, or you can, yes, exactly, you can hear some bad news about Iran, but they should not believe. And for example, last month when I decided to travel to Iran, my professors in Polytechnica, they were worried that about the situation in Iran. They told me that please be careful in Iran. We are worried that you want to come back or not. I said no.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
So I want to try to change their mind. People,
The
they
mind.
have to, yes, yes.
They
And
must go
also-
there and experience on
Yes,
their own, not
yes,
to listen
yes,
what the
exactly.
media say.
Exactly.
Okay.
And one other thing, I think, Iranian people, they are not racist, really. They respect different colors, for example, different color of skin, different religions.
So they are tolerant.
Yes, yes, really. I think I had some bad experience in other countries about the races, but I think the situation will be okay in next years. But they should not believe the bad news about Iran and about terrorism in Iran. Iranians are not terrorists. The only problem that we have in Iran is related to our government. Iranians are not terrorists. Iranians are not bad guys. They are really kind persons. They are under pressure of their government. You know, I'm not a political person. I don't want to talk politically. But our only problem and issue is our government. Our government wants to have war with different, countries to catch their benefits. But these benefits are not related to Iranian people. Iranian people,
Just
they
the
have,
government.
yes, they have their own life and their own problems, their own financial problems.
They don't need
Yes.
this international fights.
Yes, really. And these things, these propagandas is only related to our government and justice.
Yeah, on politician. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. What should I wish you?
First, I think you should teach me to find a part-time job here.
Okay.
And after that, next year to find a good job. But I think everything will be okay for me next year.
Thank you. That's what
you.
I'm wishing you. Find a
Thank you.
good, satisfying new job.
Thank you very much. Very good
How
talk.
is thank you in what is Arabic language in
No,
Iranian or Iranian?
no, Iranian speak Persian.
Persian.
Yes,
So how
Farsi.
is
Yes.
thank you in Persian?
We have two words. Merci is French. We have
French.
lots of French
Ah.
also in Farsi. But Mamnun,
Mamnun.
yes.
mamnun.
And we say خواهش میکنم means خوش about. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.